Yeah, baby!
Yeah, baby.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. And this war, it's against Mount Olympus. And so this time I'm bringing in Blade, Spider-Man, Stark, and Magic. So the reason I'm bringing in Magic is because the Power Shield node has been giving me a little bit of trouble. This is also like our most recent war. Alright, so taking my usual path 6, and we've got a Cosmic here. So I'm thinking 4-star Cosmic, it's probably Hyperion or a Medusa, even though this is a Limber and Unblockable Special 1 node. We already know that they're not running Diversity because they've got a Medusa on Kinetic Reactor and another Medusa on the Boss node. Alright, so it turns out to be Hyperion, and all I've got to do is be careful with the power bar, and once he gets to about a bar and a half, start baiting, because if he happens to go on the defensive, it could be really bad. And here, in a couple seconds, I actually get hit with a medium, and I'll show it right here. And I was like, what the hell, bro? Like, well, since when does Hyperion get that kind of reach? But luckily it didn't crit, and it was only 1000. So, not too fussed about it, but still kind of annoying that he did hit me there. Alright, so I hit the SP2 and takes a good chunk of his health off. Just gotta bait the next special attack, and it should be over. Alright, and Hyperion, easy fights. A little bit annoying with all that extra power gain, but we got through. Alright, so next node, Unstunnable Mutant, and like you guys have been seeing in my last few wars, it's been constant Nightcrawlers. Alright, so I'm building poise charges, but if he does give me that opportunity to hit him in between or right after his heavy attack, I take it. And I'm trying, usually I would have intercepted, but I just don't want to get caught with Nightcrawler, because if he hits a critical hit, since he is getting positions, he could land a deep wounds, we could do a lot of damage. Alright, so get my in and let him bait the special attack, and we got him. Alright, so on our next node, which is node 24, we've got a 5-star mutant, and I'm thinking this is going to be a Cable, but then I look at this guy's profile, and on his profile, he doesn't have a Cable, he has a 455 Iceman, so I'm thinking, oh, this has got to be an Iceman. So going with Stark because he's got the class advantage, which would lower the amount of damage I take from Cold Snap. Alright, so I've just gotta basically dodge and build my poise charges, and he did give me an in there, so I took it just to build his power a little bit. So as you guys see, I did lose a pretty big chunk of health from the Cold Snap. So I'm going in, and as you guys saw, he just healed all of his health. It's not a big deal. So I'm at 10 poise charges, so I'm doing a lot of damage now. Got my parry off, and I got a so that last medium did take off his ice armor, which I'm pretty happy about. And all those hits crit, so I'm happy about that too. Alright, just gotta make sure I knock his ice armor so that I could use my SP1 to KO him. Alright, so got that Iceman down. Lost a little chunk of my health, but it was the Cold Snap. Nothing I could do about it. And now onto my next node. This is the 50% power gain, power start 1 node. And this guy, on his main profile, the only champion I see that you could put on there is Magic. It's not a Mephisto because there's no persistent charges. So obvious choice is to take in Blade. Even if it turns out to be Mordo, Blade will still be a better answer. Alright, so it does turn out to be Blade. Not Blade, Magic. So as you can see, I'm trying to get as much shallow evades. And I noticed, wow, this guy is running recoil on Magic. It's not often you see only recoil without the suicides, but for war you have to take off that recoil, especially because that recoil is going to be based off the maximum health. So as you guys saw, she was taking like 4,000 health off each time she launched a special attack, and on a power gain node, it's just a lot of more special attacks that are going to be launched. Alright, next node. We've got a 4-star Mystic, and so far the past like 3 wars, it's been Dormammu, and Blade just, it's too hard to use Blade to handle it, so this is why I brought in Magic, because as long as I get to an SP2, I don't have to worry about accidentally taking them up to an SP3. And I actually took off points out of Pacify and put them into Petrify. That way I can parry and hit them 3 times before the parry stun is off, so that I can give them as least amount of power as possible. Alright, so Dormammu launches his special attack. And now what I'm doing is just parrying, leaving myself pretty open so that he can use his SP1. Alright, and unfortunately that special attack didn't crit at all, so I've got to get a couple special attacks actually, and I get the degen, and luckily for me it's only 86. I have seen like 300 from a rank 455, which actually really sucks, but since we are getting limbo, we're gonna recover some of that health that we lost. Alright, and another special too, and he's still not down. So luckily I did bring in Magic so that I can use special 2s without having to worry about Dormammu's special 3 or trying to dodge. So there we go, Dormammu's down. Alright, so on to the last node before the mini, and this is the poison node with I forget what it's called, breakthrough or something, or brute force. My bad. I always forget it. Brute force. So basically every 6 seconds you gotta at least land 1 hit so that you don't degenerate. And so you see the persistent charges, and this is Morningstar. So one of my viewers, so thank you to my one of the subscribers who told me that the way you can tell is because who it is, whether it's Morningstar or Mephisto, is if you see 0 or 1, it's Morningstar. If you see 3, it's Mephisto. So shout out to you. Alright, so we got into this fight, and so I've got bleed and poison taken away from me. This is like one of the things that sucks about Morningstar, is that she can get that bleed off. But I managed to get to an SP2 before taking too much health loss. Alright, so on to the next node, which is Medusa. And actually I don't fight this Medusa because one of my guys went in there and fought her, so he took care of business. And so we're on the boss, and the guy who fought, it just the Medusa wouldn't throw the special, so I go in and she has 27% health left, and my blade's looking pretty healthy. And you guys will see I am using some of the tips that I outlined in my last video, and if you guys haven't watched it yet, you probably should, especially if you have trouble with Medusa. So as you can see, brute forcing the special attack. And so I do get stuck here, which kind of sucks, but I do play around with it and dodge the heavy attack, and you just see I'm in this freaking corner. But luckily she's played pretty nice and just letting me intercept her. So Medusa is pretty close to dead, and I just don't want to do too many combos while she has 2 bars, or I mean 2 furies, because they could she can get into their 3 furies. Alright, so she's almost down. Alright, and last couple hits and we took down Medusa. So that was pretty fun fight, honestly. A little difficult, but we did make it through without giving them another loss, or another death, I mean. Alright, and that was the war. And I know you guys want to see the stats, so here they are. We did end up winning against Mount Olympus. Good war, guys. Here are the stats. Somehow I didn't get into that top 3, so I didn't get another war MVP, but whatever. But yeah, that's it. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.